uniform have made all the sacrifices, including the supreme sacrifice, to bring us here.
Federal government reappraises fight against terrorism in the Northeast. Special town hall meeting looks at more funding and effective information gathering.
Recovery of 393 from oil marketers, withholding tax recovery of 27.7 billion from banks.
EFCC gives account of looted funds recoveries, over 400 billion naira in the kitty between January and December last year.
The occurrence of viral hemorrhagic fever among healthcare workers. And when healthcare workers are affected, then there's a challenge.
Health Ministry holds emergency council meeting to checkmate emerging outbreak of diseases. And Dolisa Metu appears in court on a stretcher as Mariam Sanders' counsel applies for bail for the second time. A very good evening to you. This is NTA Network News, and I am Ruth Benamesia. It's nice to be back on the network news set for a feel of what it used to be like, at least for the rest of this week. For today, however, it'll be Sheun Olagunju taking the rest of the news while I'm back tomorrow. So, Sheun, it's over to you.
Thank you, Ruth. It's good to see you as part of the NTA at 40 celebrations. And we'll look forward to seeing you for the rest of the week. But for tonight, Ademola Adeoye is reading from Lagos, while Ogochukwuka is in Benin. I am Sheun Olagunju. Thank you for joining us. The need for more funding, information gathering, as well as catering for the IDPs, particularly enrolling out-of-school children and orphans into schools, has been re-echoed as key to clearing the remnants of Boko Haram in the northeast. This came to the fore at a special town hall meeting for the military and other security agencies in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital.
Leading the way is the Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, who said the situation in the Northeast is a departure from what it was in 2015 when the present administration came on board. The minister maintained that today's success story is a fulfillment of President Muhammadu Buhari's determination to end insecurity across the country.
Our gallant men and women in uniform have made all the sacrifices, including the supreme sacrifice, to bring us here. Our political and military leaders have shown leadership in getting us here.
Defense Minister Mansour Ali and his counterpart in the Interior Ministry spoke glowingly on the gallantry of the Nigerian Armed Forces, saying the successes achieved is as a result of government's political will and the motivation of men and officers.
This administration has ensured the prompt payment of troops operation allowances are monthly met.
When you compare the situation we met and now, you discover that the Boko Haram terrorists have been completely disseminated.
On the way forward, Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, called for a consolidation on the achievements of 2017.
2018 is going to be a year of returns, a year where people will be seeking to go back to their home communities. As we do this, we must pay special attention on building resilience to enable displaced persons return to a life of dignity.
Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima applauded the gallantry of the Nigerian Armed Forces for eschewing sentiment in fighting insurgents who had hitherto held the Northeast hostage.
These accomplishments were made under the leadership of a Nigerian general of Igbo extraction from Dike in Imo State. Interestingly, these accomplishments were made while the Commissioner of Police in Borno State is another English man from Imo State.
The meeting is the second of its kind after the first held in Kanu. In Maiduguri, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Meanwhile, about 84 persons, mostly women and children, have been rescued by troops of Operation Lafia Doli. They were rescued at Camp Zero by troops of the Nigerian Army. Abubakar Muhammad Musa reports.
Handing over the people to Borno State government, Theatre Commander Operation Lafia Doli, Major General Rogers Nicholas said the 84 persons were rescued at Camp Zero following the dislodgement of members of the sectarian group. The Theatre Command called for sustained collaboration between the armed forces towards flushing out remnants of the terrorist group. While describing the media as a major player in the ongoing rescue operation, the general implored members of the press to assist in changing the mindset of captives against the impression that they will be killed by the military when they surrender willingly.
We are asking everybody in Borno State, particularly in Borno State, to be part of this ongoing slot. Cooperation in terms of giving information as to escaping Boko Haram members. We also make sure that people must be vigilant in their localities to ensure that if you see any suspected person, report to the nearest military or any security agency.
An official of State Emergency Management Agency, Bello Mohammed Dambata, who received the victims on behalf of Borno State government, says they will undergo de-radicalization so as to reintegrate them into the society. From the Nigerian Air Force Base in Maiduguri, Abubakar Mohammed Musa, NTA News.
Similarly, Nigerian armed forces have taken control of Sambisa Forest, Camp Zero and environs in continuation of the counterinsurgency war. Theatre Commander Operation Lafia Doli, Major General Rogers Nicholas, stated this while hosting a delegation of armed forces from Cameroon for a meeting at the command's headquarters, May Malari Cantonment, Maiduguri. Mohammed Ibrahim reports.
Joint meeting between Nigeria and Cameroonian armed forces responsible for the fight against Boko Haram insurgency is coming on the heels of the successes recorded against the terrorists. The theater commander expressed gratitude to the neighboring country for fully joining the war, which is now a joint coordinated land and air operation by the two sides.
This is not the first time we have been meeting with the Cameroonian forces. We have common enemy, all right, between along our borders with Nigeria and Cameroon.
General Rogers noted that a lot of successes have been achieved against the insurgents, with massive casualty on the side of the terrorists who are on the run. He reiterated that the forces are not only engaged in offensive but accept terrorists ready to surrender and will be treated humanely. Leader of the Cameroon Defense Forces Delegation, Brigadier General John Kep Frederick, said the collaboration will foster better understanding of cross-border security to close any gap that will hinder quick end to the fight against insurgency.
We join our Nigerian troops with a certain number of capacity, even in air asset, troops, logistic.
The military restated that this is the last phase of the offensive to end the Boko Haram insurgency. In Maiduguri, Muhammad Ibrahim, NTA News.
Still on security matters, the federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to enhancing collaboration of people living in the border areas between Nigeria and Cameroon to scale up security. Minister of State Foreign Affairs Khadija Bukar Abba Ibrahim gave the assurance at the 6th session of the Cameroon-Nigeria Trans-Border Security Committee meeting holding in Abuja. Ominiode has the report.
One way to enhance trans-border relations, the minister said, is through the development of common institutions that will facilitate peaceful coexistence along border lines. Such collaboration resulted in surmounting threats posed by Boko Haram insurgents, and that government is committed to restoring constitutional order in the affected areas.
We have a responsibility to reduce the vulnerabilities presently inherent in our porous borders that have been exploited by economic saboteurs.
Nigeria and Cameroon in 2012 signed an agreement on the establishment of Trans-Border Security Committee to check crime along the land and maritime borders of the two countries. The committee is now identified as an ideal forum for the evaluation and orientation of the efforts by Nigeria and Cameroon to ensure security at the borders. The Office of the National Security Advisor coordinates the session in Nigeria.
There should be no doubt whatsoever of Nigeria's support for the unity, sovereignty, and territorial integrity of Cameroon.
Cameroon's Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization, Emmanuel Sadi, is head of the Cameroonian delegation to the security meeting.
Our committee is gradually but surely gaining ground and is achieving the objectives assigned to it by our two heads of states.
A communique is expected at the end of the meeting. Participants at the session agree that insecurity is a friend to no country, so the two countries are up to the bidding to stem border skirmishes, terrorism, piracy, armed robbery, drug and human trafficking, as well as enhance intelligence sharing. In Abuja, Omini Udan, NTA News.
To health matters now, an emergency National Council on Health meeting has been convened in Abuja to discuss the state of public health in the country, with focus on the current outbreak of Lassa fever in some states. Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, urged states to improve their response and investment in the prevention and control of diseases. Health correspondent Rabi Abdallah has the report.
Measles, meningitis, yellow fever and Lassa fever, public health challenges the country is still grappling with. Despite highly effective vaccines for some of these diseases. Statistics on the current Lassa fever outbreak indicate 405 suspected cases, out of which 105 was confirmed, with 31 deaths recorded in 15 states. 10 health workers have been affected in 4 states of Ebonyi, Nasarawa, Kogi and Benue. 3 of the health workers died in Ebonyi, while 1 died in Kogi.
The question people will ask, did we prepare for this outbreak? The answer is yes. But somewhere along the line, we did not get the commensurate cooperation from the states. The question is, why did we fail? And this is why we thought it is important to bring this meeting together. Is that they need to look at the changing dynamics with respect to Lassa fever. We are also worried about the case fatality. And then what is also worrisome is the occurrence of viral hemorrhagic fever among healthcare workers.
State commissioners took turn to brief the council, which is the highest decision-making body in the health sector, on emergency preparedness and response to diseases. In Abuja, Rabi Abdallah, NTA News.
Joining me now is Dr. Chikwe Ihekwazu. He is the Director, Nigeria Center for Disease Control. And thank you for joining us, Doctor.
Always a pleasure.
Now, why this emergency meeting, and what lessons could we have learned from previous outbreaks that we could have used to prevent these outbreaks?
So this emergency meeting was called by the Honorable Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, really as a leader of the health sector. But considering our federal republic structure and the fact that responsibilities for the work that we do actually lies across all the tiers of government, so by bringing all the commissioners together from all the states, together with the federal government parastatals, and really giving us a riot act about what our responsibilities are collectively, really was the purpose of this meeting. And I think the learning from the past really has been that we have a lot of resources in Nigeria, but they're not always all focused and brought together to face the challenges that are in front of us. So what the Honorable Minister did today was really ensure that we're all pulling together. It's not just the federal government or the state government or the teaching hospitals, but we're really all coming together to focus on how we deal with these outbreaks facing Nigeria.
Talking about pulling together, the state seems to be accused of complacency. So what's the most important take-home from this emergency meeting?
I mean, I think the most important take-home for the states and for many of us, that it's actually possible to manage and to control a lot of these challenges we've been facing. And we had a really great presentation from the CMD of the Rural Specialist Teaching Hospital in Edo State. He shared with us his experiences of how the hospital has really grown and how they manage successfully both diagnose and manage cases of Lassa fever. Many similar examples were brought from across several states. We shared our work with NCDC in terms of how we've distributed commodities and really worked with states to prepare them to respond. So really, this was about sharing experiences of what has succeeded and really enabling all of us share that competence and expertise so we can protect Nigerians better.
And we hope this works to nip these outbreaks in the bud.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for joining us.
It's a marathon, so we have to keep at it.
Thank you very much, Doc, for joining us. Dr. Chikwe Ihekwazu is the Director, Nigeria Center for Disease Control. You're watching NTA Network News. Time now to take some messages. The news returns shortly. Stay with us.
Get an unfair advantage that puts you in front of everyone else. Be the first to create the latest online trends. Be the first to make the news. 4,000 Naira equals 12.5 gigabytes to upload over 5,000 pictures. Sell to more people faster than anyone else. 500 Naira equals 1 gigabyte for unlimited chatting. Be the first to know. Live on the fast lane and always stay connected to a world on the move. 5,000 Naira equals 15.6 gigabytes for 50 hours of unlimited video calling. Get the unfair advantage powered by Glow Data Unmatched. Also enjoy free YouTube and iFlix. Dial *777#.
The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, brings a new lease of life to Nigeria SMEs. SON has put a greater premium on developing standards to improve made in Nigeria products for export. We have developed more standards for products like sesame, cocoa, gari, and more, courtesy of our accredited state-of-the-art laboratories. In keeping with the federal government's ease of doing business, SON has simplified its processes and turned around time for SUNCAP, MANCAP, and other certification processes. SON has intensified market surveillance, raids, and seizures to reduce substandard products in circulation, and offenders shall be prosecuted. Join SON in ridding our nation of substandard products. If you see something, say something. Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving lives through standards.
The Federal Ministry of Health and the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPHCDA, in collaboration with development partners, invite the public to the presidential flag-off of the Community Health Influencers, Promoters and Services CHIPS program. The flag-off takes place on Tuesday, 6th February 2018 at Kwandere Health Facility, Lafia, Nasarawa State at 11 a.m. All guests are expected to be seated by 9 a.m. Dr. Faisal Shuaib, Executive Director, CEO, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, announcer.
Olúwa ṣẹ́gun fún mi ṣé mo dúpẹ́ ọmọ dùn ẹnu ọmọ òní ní kò gbé tí wá kò ń jẹjẹ ó ní kábàámọ̀ àbùkù òní kàn ẹ́ o ayé òní rí ẹ mú o òní dààmú òní ṣìrìn òní rí ó yà wọnú ògo tuntun lọ ẹlẹ́dàá mi ẹ tàmí ń kọ́ ṣé ìwọ ti rókùn tó gbẹ rí. Kò lè gbẹ́ bí àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ̀yà fi sí spíkà. Ní ẹ̀bùn ńlá fẹ́mu mi gbé wá fèmí. Ọlọ́run á ràn yín lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin náà lè ṣerú ẹ̀ fáwọn.
Get 10 times your recharge value to call and browse anyhow. Recharge with *220 *the-pin hash to enjoy this offer available to new and existing subscribers.
Mr. Anansa, èmi ń gbàdúrà. Ìwọ ń polówó ọjà, ìwọ náà borí ẹ̀ wá kó wá gbàdúrà. Á dáa fún ẹ. Ṣé orí bó ti ń tajà fẹ́ lòmíì? Àwọn máa sìn.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Governor Umaru Tanko Al-Makura and the good people of Nasarawa State heartily welcome President Muhammadu Buhari on a one-day working visit to Nasarawa State on 6th February 2018. With the mission statement of Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, seeing is believing, we proudly invite Mr. President to commission the Comprehensive Special School Lafia, Model Primary Healthcare Center Kondari, and the Muhammadu Buhari International Market, Cairo. Mr. President will also flag off construction of the Lafia Cargo Airport, amongst other landmark projects. Mr. President, Governor Umaru Tanko Al-Makura welcomes you to your political laboratory, Nasarawa State.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant. To achieve our creed as we promise, we shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
You're watching NTA Network News. Thank you for staying with us. Now, following the approval of the Federal Executive Council, President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the instruments of ratification of the bilateral air services agreement between Nigeria and 5 other countries. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says the countries are the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, the Republic of Congo, the People's Republic of China, the State of Qatar, and the Republic of Singapore. The statement adds that with the execution of these instruments, it is expected that Nigeria's aviation links with the respective countries will improve significantly. In a related development, President Buhari has also signed the Executive Order 5 to improve local content in public procurement with science, engineering, and technology components. The Executive Order is expected to promote the application of science, technology, innovation towards achieving the nation's development goals across all sectors of the economy. By this, the President has ordered that all procuring authorities shall give preference to Nigerian companies and firms in the award of contracts in line with the Public Procurement Act of 2007. The executive order also prohibits the Ministry of Interior from giving visas to foreign workers whose skills are readily available in Nigeria. It, however, notes that where expertise is lacking, procuring entities will give preference to foreign companies and firms with a demonstrable and verifiable plan for indigenous development prior to the award of such contracts. The President also directed ministries, departments and agencies to engage indigenous professionals in the planning, design and execution of national security projects. Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says it has recovered the sum of 473 billion naira between January and December 2017. Chairman of the Commission, Ibrahim Magu, made this known at the 2018 budget scrutiny before the House of Representatives Committee on Financial Crimes. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Onkwo reports.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, explained that in spite of the late and insufficient release of funds in 2017 fiscal year, the Commission made some strides in assets recovered from corrupt practices. The forfeiture of 32 billion naira to the federal government from the former Minister of Petroleum Resources, $43 million recovered in the Osborne Towers, Ikoyi, Lagos, were among the recoveries.
It is very imperative for us to do a review of the 2017 budget and how far the agency has gone in its implementation.
Recovery and final forfeiture of 449 million discovered at the Lezico Plaza in Victoria Island, Lagos. The recovery of 393 from oil marketers, withholding tax recovery of 27.7 billion from banks, Nigeria Port Authority about 6.6 million euro, recoveries of about 1.1 billion naira on behalf of AMCON.
The Commission's appropriation for 2017 was 17.2 billion naira, but 11.7 billion was released. Meanwhile, Speaker Yakubu Dogara has granted audience to a delegation from the Parliament of the Republic of Niger, where he urged African legislators to protect and promote democracy. Dogara emphasized the need for Parliament to ensure proper checks on other arms of government from the National Assembly. Ignatius Onkwo, NTA News.
The government and people of Nasarawa State have been mobilized to give President Muhammadu Buhari a befitting reception during his one-day official visit to the state on Tuesday. Joshua Ojito reports.
The schedule is tight. This is because most of the projects slated for inauguration by the president are here in Lafia, the state capital. and the government and people of Nasarawa State are fully ready to receive the president.
There is little, very, happinesses to our people.
And the town has changed. Actually, at least they've beautified everywhere.
The visit of President Muhammadu Buhari is highly expected as homecoming. The people are fully mobilized and ready, and so are the projects expected to be inaugurated. Others, like the highly rated 330 kV NIPP substation, will have their foundation stone officially laid by the president.
The Lafia Comprehensive Special School is one of the projects to be inaugurated by the president. In fact, the first set of the students have already commenced academic activities.
Not only about the special school, but all other projects that were lined up for Mr. President's commissioning, flag off, and unveiling are all very, very ready. We have lined more than 15 different projects for Mr. President to commission.
For the people of Nasarawa State and the government, the visit of President Buhari will be another opportunity to show solidarity with his administration and reaffirm commitment of support. In Lafia, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
To the judiciary now, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has adjourned sitting on the alleged corruption charges against the former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Ulisamitu, till March 14 for further hearing. The trial judge, Justice Okung Abang, at the last adjourned date, had ordered Mitu to appear in court on February 5th or face the consequence of his bail being revoked. Chukunonso Wabweze reports.
The former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Olisa Metu, was on Monday brought on a stretcher before the Federal High Court in Abuja for his ongoing trial on 400 million naira he allegedly received from the office of the former National Security Advisor in 2014. At the resumed trial, Metu's lawyer Onyechi Bazu pleaded for 1 month's adjournment to enable his client recover from an undisclosed ailment. The prosecution counsel did not raise any objection to this application. Subsequently, the trial judge, Justice Okun Abang, adjourned till March 14th for continuation of trial.
Today, a different scenario has played out in that, as we all saw, the man really looks down. And as human beings and as mere mortals, I mean, seeing with my eyes what I saw, I couldn't have played God, because all of us are liable to falling ill as human beings.
The application I made to His Lordship, that the essence of it was primarily to enable the doctors fully examine him and draw their assessments and perhaps treat him. And we had asked for 1 month, we hadn't asked for 3 months or 6 months, because we are hopeful that perhaps within that period that he'll be well.
With this adjournment, Olisa Metu was taken outside the court to a waiting ambulance with his relatives forming barricade round the stretcher to prevent the camera capturing him.
Open that place! Open that place!
In Abuja, Chukunonso Wabweze, NTA News.
In the meantime, an Abuja High Court sitting in Jabi has fixed the 7th of this month for definite commencement in the case of culpable homicide against Mariam Sanda, accused of stabbing her husband, Bilyaminu Haliru, to death. Aliu Tukur reports.
Mariam Sanda was arraigned in December last year for allegedly stabbing her husband to death. She was arraigned along with her mother, brother and one other person for allegedly helping to conceal evidence of the scene of the crime. The trial, which ought to have commenced on the 5th of this month, could not, because the defendant has applied for bail for the second time through her counsel Joseph Daudu on grounds that she is 3 months pregnant and a breastfeeding mother. Arguing the bail application, Daudu says the court should pity his client, whom he says will require proper medical attention at this early stage of her pregnancy. Besides, Daudu says he has raised objections against the competence of the charge, which he says ought to have been commenced with first information report as envisaged under the penal code. The defense counsel contended that the police failed to secure the consent of the Director of Public Prosecution before it filed the charge. Prosecution counsel James Idachaba objects to the second bail application.
Even the applicant has no authority known for now
in respect of issue of pregnancy.
The prosecution counsel said he is ready to commence with the trial by presenting his first witness to the court in the persons of Inspector Simon Oko. Again, the defense counsel objects to that on grounds that the witness name is not listed in the amended charge.
And they tried to start, but they are not ready. They have not given us the statements of all the witnesses.
The presiding judge, Justice Yusuf Halilu, urged the prosecution counsel to serve the defense with all necessary documents and adjourned the case to the 7th of this month for ruling on the second bail application and commencement of trial. Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
The Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, NOLGE, has urged the federal government not to adopt the aspect of the APC report on restructuring, which aimed at scrapping local government administration by giving more power to the states. The union's president, Ibrahim Khalil, made the appeal at a media briefing in Abuja, saying what the nation needs is to strengthen the federal structure by granting autonomy to local governments so that each tier would be accountable for the resources provided to them for the functional development of the people. Emmanuel Ayimiro reports.
The union is appealing to the leadership of the APC to consider making more powers available to local government so as to encourage grassroots participation in democracy. The union president, Ibrahim Khalil, wants the ongoing process of constitutional amendment by state houses of assembly to be encouraged in order to strengthen local government system.
And the only platform that can guarantee, even participation of Nigerians in governance and democracy is a democratically guaranteed local government system. And that is why we are canvassing for that.
NOLGE is planning to re-engage state houses of assembly to pass the local government autonomy. Emmanuel Ayimiro, NTA News.
Let's now join Ogochukwuka in Benin for stories trending in that zone. Hello, Ogochukwuka, it's over to you.
Welcome to Benin. The People's Democratic Party says imposition of candidates negates the entrenchment of democratic principles. The leadership has therefore resolved to make this challenge unfashionable. Informer Okafor reports.
Other resolutions reached at the meeting include:
we reiterate that our opposition party is prepared for the 2019 elections and will ensure that all Nigerians aspiring to elected offices are free to contest on the platform of PDP.
Earlier, governors of Delta and Rivers states expressed confidence in the leadership of Uche Secondos to lead the party in 2019.
I believe that you have the knowledge and the strength, and most importantly, the fear of God to lead our people.
The major problem is not allowing those who have won an election to be declared as
The People's Democratic Party also resolved to embark on grassroots mobilization to ensure victory and change the economic architecture of the country. In Asaba, Ifeoma Okafor, NTA News.
The Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, says the Buhari-led administration will not relent in ensuring that the private sector delivers on its own unique specialty to aid diversification and provide more jobs. The minister stated this while inspecting projects including Azura Power Plants and the road under the Sukuk 100 billion naira bond. Ive Omoyi has details.
The Azura Independent Power Plant project started in January 2016 with a construction schedule of 36 months. However, the construction performance on the site over the past years have significantly exceeded expectations. This, the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, says the project shows the commitment of the Buhari's-led administration in improving the power sector to ease diversification.
I salute all of the work that they did with the foreign partners, JB, Siemens, and also Azura as a brand itself for the commitment and the belief in this economy.
The Deputy Managing Director of Azura, Edu Okeke, says the Azura power plant is ready for its third turbine very soon. as he commended the government for their zeal in ensuring that power gets to the national grid. The minister also made a stop at the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, Ihovo, where he was informed that the generating company will evacuate additional power. Fashola also visited AO in Benin City to check the ongoing construction of the dualization of Lokoja-Benin Road. He was assured by the contractors that the road will be motorable during rainy season. In Benin, Ivie Omoyi, NTA News.
And that's it from this end. It's back to you in Abuja.
Thank you, Ogochukwuka. Now, the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, has ordered the arrest of Kazim Afegwa for making false statements, defamation of character, and for an act capable of inciting public disturbance throughout the country. A statement issued by the police public relations officer, Jimoh Moshood, indicates that Kazim Afegwa is therefore declared wanted by the Nigeria police and should report at the nearest police station anywhere he is in the country. Time now to join Ademola in Lagos for more reports. Hello, Ademola. Good to see you.
It's good to have you join us in Lagos. Lagos State Governor Akin Miambode has charged Nigerian youths to embrace skills acquisition and vocational training as a means for self-employment. The governor gave the charge at the graduation ceremony of the 2017 National Skills Development Program in Lagos. Nosa Osula reports.
The governor, who was represented by the Commissioner for Wealth Creation and Employment, Uzamat Akimbide Yusuf, noted that the training will enable youths become entrepreneurs at an early stage in life. He also urged the Industrial Training Fund to continually monitor the trained youths to ensure the starter packs given to them after the program are well utilized.
In today's age of globalization and technological volatility, skill building is an important strategy to ensure improvement in the efficacy and quality of labor, which is required for increased productivity and economic growth.
Director of Business Training Department of the ITF, Ayo Ade Igbeyi, explained that the mass training of youths is in fulfillment of the mandate of ITF to provide training for skills in management for technical and entrepreneurial development in the public and private sectors of the economy.
This is the first time we'll give out starter packs. And so with this, we'll be able to ensure that when they are trained, they will start immediately.
Some of the beneficiaries comment.
I'm so excited. I'm lost of words. I can't just believe that I'll be called out to receive the prize. I'm so happy.
I really appreciate God for giving me this opportunity because something I was not expecting, especially the starter pack and the stipend I was given.
The program is in line with federal government's determination to develop entrepreneurship skills among the youths. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, NTA News.
The circulation of mutilated Naira notes has continued to raise concerns among the public as there appears to be no denomination of the Naira notes spared from the abuse and mishandling. Musa Toliat takes a look at the mutilated Naira notes on business transactions and ways to forestall the abuse of the nation's legal tender.
The city of Lagos, with its attendant surging population, has a large presence of business activities, but dirty and mutilated Naira notes are a common sight across the metropolis. The abuse of Naira notes cuts across various denominations. Those who abuse the Naira notes either write on them, mishandle them, or outrightly cut out part of the notes.
What we are having now in the circulation is completely out of it.
Bad notes have therefore remained a challenge to traders and customers when the need to transact businesses arise.
Whether money here, we don't get our collector. This selective government go spend.
If I know spend, I go tell them say I know spend and made a return and back, and because of that, the person will go buy as he want to buy again.
I will spend it because it meant to be spent now.
Our investigation also reveals that financial institutions are reluctant to withdraw mutilated notes from circulation as exchange for new ones attracts charges from the CBN.
CBN has been doing that incidentally, and you know they cannot do it free of charge too. It has cost implications.
Although Section 20 and 21 of the Central Bank of Nigeria Act recommends 6 months imprisonment or an option of 50,000 Naira fine for those caught in the act of abusing the Naira notes, enforcement has remained quite low.
When we begin to see implementation of this law, I think there will be a reduction in such issues.
The most appropriate way to go about it is the move towards a cashless environment.
Financial experts, however, solicit for more sensitization drive to educate the public on the best ways to handle the nation's currencies. In Lagos, Musa Tolia, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. We take a break now for some messages. The news continues shortly. Stay with us.
Everybody, take comics for an call. Yes, now, just here, drink.
Comics, now easy to use solution for itchy cough. Comics, easy to use, carry waka.
Achievers always believe in 100%. Breakfast isn't complete without Chivita 100% fruit juice. Made from real natural fruits with no added sugar. So to be at your best, start every day the Chivita 100% way. With 100% quality, 100% commitment, 100% goodness, 100% achievement. Start your day the Chivita 100% way.
Sensitivity is a short pain which occurs when teeth are exposed to hot, cold, or acidic things. Cold water from the fridge would trigger off sensitivity. A lot of people would accept anyway and just grin and bear the pain. What I would say to the patient is switch to Sensodyne, make it your daily toothpaste. Over a period of time would reduce tooth sensitivity. And a lot of them come back to thank me, to say that, wow, it's just something so simple. It adds the sparkle back into their life.
Cold and flu can spread through the contact of hands. And in such situations, I can't risk falling ill. So I recommend Dettol, as it protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs. That's why I want to be Dettol sure. Dettol P100.
During an emergency, people tend to run away from the scene of danger. My job requires that I do the exact opposite, to save people. There was once a sweet girl who was in a car accident. It was sad to see pain on the face which should always be smiling. The ordeal had taken a toll on me, but I had no time for pain. A couple of weeks later, I was about to head home when I had an unexpected visitor. It was her birthday, and she had insisted to her mother that she would bring a piece of cake for the man who helped save her life. The world needs people who save lives.
Every day, I try to create something new, but I always remember my roots. Modern grooves meet traditional beats. That's how my music speaks. That's why I love my Lux, traditional fragrance with a modern twist of floral beauty oil for soft, fragrant skin. My roots, my modernity. It's all a part of me.
I am Nandi Matita. I am more than you can see, just like Lux.
Whenever pain occurs, you want quick relief. Try Nurofen Express. It goes to the source of pain and gets to work in under 15 minutes. That's why Nurofen Express delivers fast and effective relief. Nurofen Express works at the source of pain. Fast.
Being a mom is great, but when your child has a fever, you don't know what to do. I trust Nurofen for Children to take care of my child's pain and fever.
Effective relief you can trust.
We want to buy Indomie noodles. 4 packs, please. This is not my Indomie. Please, sir, it's not Indomie. Don't call it Indomie.
Sir, the taste is the difference. The difference is in the taste. That's why my brothers, my mommy, my daddy, and I all enjoy our delicious, so very delicious Indomie noodles. The difference is the taste.
Bayes University, Abuja, one of the fastest growing private universities in Nigeria, commences postgraduate studies in the following fields: MBA, MSc Business Administration, MSc International Relations and Diplomacy, MSc Mass Communication, MSc Economics, MSc Sociology, MSc Chemistry, MSc Animal and Environmental Sciences, and MSc Parasitology. For inquiries, call 081 3376 9658. That is 081-3376-9658, or email enquiries@bayesuniversity.edu.ng. You can also visit www.bayesuniversity.edu.ng.
Admission is in progress.
Come to Bayes University, Abuja. Get the best. Learn to live. Announcer, Registrar.
now sick people boss be this, so.
Everybody, take comics for an call. Yes, now, just here, drink.
Comics, now easy to use solution for itchy cough. Comics, easy to use, carry waka.
You're watching NTA Network News, and we begin this segment with business news. Efforts to ensure compliance with the nation's pension regulation yield positive results. For details, here is Vivian Idepefo.
It's great to have you join us on the business news at this time. Liquidity at the Nigerian money market remains tight, with the Central Bank of Nigeria mop-up of 2.18 trillion naira from the system through open market operations auctions, which it held all through the month of January 2018. This is 41.7% higher than 1.542 trillion naira it mopped up through these auctions in December 2017. In January, it held open market operation auctions almost every day, taking out 344 billion naira and 553 billion naira in the first and second week of the month. It also mopped up 369.41 billion naira in the third week, 477.92 billion naira in the fourth week, and 440.21 billion naira in the last 3 days of the month. Last week, the overnight lending rate rose by 683 basis points to 12.17%. And the National Pension Commission has recovered 13.58 billion naira from employers that deducted pension contributions from their employees' salaries but failed to remit the amount to the workers' respective retirement savings accounts. A report from PENCOM quoted the Commission as saying its efforts in ensuring compliance by employers with the pension payment regulations are yielding positive results. The reports indicates that as of September 2017, the sum of 13.58 billion naira had been recovered as outstanding pension contributions and penalties. And now to the equities market. The all-share index closed negative at 44,261 basis points. Dangote Cement led the losers chart, shedding 2.88% ahead of Fort Oil and Julius Berger, while FCMB led the pack of top-traded stocks. Better Glass led the top gainers with 4.9% gain. That concludes business news. Now to the rest of the bulletin.
The Director General of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Traffic in Persons, NAPTIP, Julie Okadonli, says there is the need to engage in awareness campaigns to change the mindset of Nigerians, especially the youth, to believe in their country. She said this at a one-day symposium on the investigation and prosecution of human traffickers with the theme Global Trends in Combating Human Trafficking in Abuja. Oyeyemi Ajayi has the details.
International Organization on Migration IOM estimates that over 10,000 Nigerians are forced into prostitution in Italy. However, Nigeria has had a negative reputation of being the leading African country involved in both internal and external trafficking. Hence, the need for experts in the organized crime and general security industry to come together to brainstorm towards the eradication of human trafficking in Nigeria and the West African sub-region.
Well, you see, the truth is that there's a lot of awareness campaign going on now. NAPTIP has embarked on serious awareness campaign in the communities. But besides that, we have also realized that we need to change the mindset of the youths, because the youths of these days just think that anything outside Nigeria is the best.
Director, Africa Alliance Partnership, Marcus Green, says addressing challenges of trafficking involves the partnership of everyone, including the community, law enforcement agencies, and most importantly, the need for information sharing.
Our justice system, and it's global, our justice system, when you look at a global system of justice, it has to be centered on how we best serve the victim.
The way to go is to be on top of the game. Today is the era of technology. It's no other way but to use the same tools of technology from the investigation stage to the prosecution.
NAPTIP has successfully synergized with other security agencies, and with determination of all involved, it is expected that recommendations against the menace will be effected. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Still on human trafficking, the federal government is intensifying collaboration with states as well as international community to end irregular migration and human trafficking. In a statement by the Special Assistant on Media to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sarah Sanda, the minister stressed the need for all state governments to harmonize their efforts to check the trend of irregular migration and human trafficking. He urged state governments and international partners engaged in rehabilitation programs for Libya returnees to key into the various rehabilitation programs by the federal government agencies tasked with such mandate. Responding, Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State said his administration will continue to roll out training programs and schemes for the Libyan returnees to assist them resettle fully into the society, adding that the state and relevant bodies are working to stop the mass exodus of Edo people to non-existent greener pastures outside the country's shores. We'll take our last commercial break now. Please stay with us.
Devolution of power. How ready is Nigeria? Find out on this week's edition of NTA Tuesday Live. NTA Tuesday Live promises to be incisive, informative, and educative. Join us.
The winning energy and great Milo taste, now ready to go. The winning energy and great Milo taste, now ready to go. The winning energy and great Milo taste, now ready to go.
From our wonderful family, Meet Party, for celebrating the high points of life with friends. And then there's me, Jolly, bringing nourishment to every gathering. Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy. Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurts, it's all good.
Today, Ariel will show you how to save more in these tough times.
Wife's powder. It's pretty good and money's tight. But Ariel gives better cleaning with less powder.
Impossible.
Come with me.
Spaghetti sauce, chocolate drink.
For these tough stains, I'll need 1, 2, and just 1 handful of Ariel. New Ariel gives better stain removal with less powder.
That's real savings. Ariel removes tough stains better in 1 wash.
Your perfect family is under threat by germs. Infectious diseases are now the world's biggest killer of adults and children. Every day, 16,000 children under the ages of 5 and thousands of adults die from infectious diseases. These infectious diseases are caused by germs. They are everywhere. An average human being comes in contact with over 1 million germs daily. In unclean water, dirty surfaces, in the toilet, on cuts and wounds, on your clothes. Germs can cause deadly diseases like typhoid, diarrhea, flu, and cough. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 Cap Full for surface cleaning in your bathing water, in your laundry water, for first aid, to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol Sure. Endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
To sports now, Sports Minister Solomon Dalong says home-based Eagles lost to Morocco against all odds as FIBA officials arrived Nigeria on a fact-finding mission in view of the crisis rocking the Nigeria Basketball Federation. Dende Sonny is our guide on Sports Update.
Coming second, playing in Morocco, playing even under the rains for 90 minutes with a very terrible weather. This put up together factors that one could say militated against our effective performance.
A three-member delegation from FIBA and FIBA Africa is in Nigeria to investigate the crisis rocking the Nigeria Basketball Federation that now has two executive committees arising from the 2017 Federation elections. Lupomir Katleba from Geneva and a representative of FIBA Secretary General alongside Billy Alfonsi, FIBA Africa Secretary General, and Konde Amara Fobe, Director of FIBA Africa Competitions Commission, discussed with Sports Minister as part of their investigations. In the meantime, the first athletics technical seminar for the officiating officials is underway in Abuja. Organized by the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, AFN, the seminar is to provide the participants with the theoretical and practical training required to make them capable of performing well at national and international competitions. With Sport Update, Adende Sani, NT.
And now a quick look at Tuesday's weather forecast.
Thanks for joining us on the weather segment. Let's take a look at the weather condition for Tuesday. By morning, we expect partly cloudy to cloudy condition over the southern cities. Sunny and hazy condition is anticipated over the central and the northern cities. We have accumulation of moisture over the south coupled with rising temperatures. These are favorable for weather activities over this region. As such, there are prospects of isolated thunderstorms over the coastal cities, which is expected to extend to the inland cities of the southwest, places like Abeokuta, Osogbo, Ibadan, and Akure axis. Maximum temperatures of 40 degrees was recorded over Yola, Makurdi, and Niger State. Let's take a look at maximum temperature forecast.
And that's it on the NTA Network News for tonight. We thank you for watching. I'm Sheung Olagunju. Have a good night.